He said just two simple words, "I've got you." And that was the beginning of a love story that changed everything. She was a middle school teacher with a kind heart and a simple life. He came from a wealthy family that owned an entire network of auto shops. Different worlds, different expectations, but one choice: each other. Together, they faced doubts, hard decisions, and the fear of losing what mattered most. A move to a new city, a house on the edge of town, a small wedding filled with quiet joy. And 1 year later, news that made their happiness even bigger. This isn't a story about money or status. It's a story about choosing love, about trust, about a love that begins quietly and lasts forever.
Love Stories Max. Welcome to my channel. Enjoy watching, friends.
From "I've got you" to "I'm going to be a dad." I never believed in meeting someone at the gym. For me, it was a place for headphones, focus, and personal space. No conversations, no lingering looks. Just training, water breaks, and a workout list on my phone. That morning, I came earlier than usual. The gym was still quiet. The faint smell of rubber from the equipment, soft music in the background, and gentle light waking up together with the city. I stood in front of the mirror and fixed my hair into a high ponytail. I always liked looking put together. It mattered to me. A slim figure, long legs, a narrow waist, but it wasn't just about appearance. I loved the feeling of strength in my body. I loved seeing myself become more resilient, more confident. I started my warm-up, and then I noticed him. He was standing near the squat rack. Tall, broad shoulders, an athletic, well-built body, honestly, like he had stepped out of a fitness ad. Dark hair, slightly tousled, and that calm, focused look of someone who truly respects discipline. But what caught my attention wasn't his appearance. He carefully put the weight plates back after his set. For some reason, that felt right. I quickly looked away. "Don't make things up, Vicky. You're here to train." A few minutes later, I moved on to barbell squats. The weight was new for me, a little heavier than usual. I finished the first set, then the second. On the third rep, the bar suddenly felt much heavier. And then I heard a calm voice behind me. "I've got you." I didn't even have time to respond. His hands were there, close but not touching, just spotting. I finished the set, re-racked the bar, and turned around. "Thank you," I said, a little out of breath. He smiled, not wide, warm, good form, but that's a serious weight. "I'm stubborn," I replied. "I can see that." A pause. "I'm Travis, Victoria." And somehow, in that moment, I felt that this morning was different from all the others. Over the next few days, we only nodded to each other. No pressure. No awkward pickup lines, no forced conversations, just a calm presence. And I liked it. Sometimes I caught myself coming a little earlier, just to see if he was already there. He trained seriously, focused, but sometimes, when our eyes met in the mirror, he would give me a small smile. And I would smile back. One evening, I was finishing cardio when I saw him by the water station. "Do you always train this late?" he asked. "When work doesn't let me leave earlier," I said. "You?" "I'm a trainer. After my clients, I work out myself." "Oh, that explains why you look like a fitness commercial." He laughed. "And you look like someone who trains for herself, not for photos." That's rare. I don't know why, but that compliment felt different. We sat on a bench near the window. The conversation flowed easily. About workouts, about work, about favorite coffee, about how hard it is to make yourself come to the gym on rainy days. Time passed without us noticing. When I walked outside, he came with me. "Are you driving?" he asked. "No, I walk. I'll walk you." And there was nothing pushy about it. Just quiet confidence. After that, things began to change. He would leave me a towel if I forgot mine. I would bring 2 protein bars, by accident. We started training together once a week. He taught me how to do pull-ups. I taught him how to stretch properly. Sometimes our hands would accidentally touch. And every time, something in my chest would quietly tremble. One morning, he was waiting for me near the entrance. "No workout today," he said. "What? Recovery. That's part of progress too. So what are we doing?" He handed me a paper cup. Coffee. A small cafe just opened nearby. We sat by the window, holding our warm cups. Outside, a light rain was falling. He looked at me a little longer than usual. "You know," he said quietly, "I noticed you on your very first day. Then why didn't you come over? You looked so focused, and a little unreachable." I smiled. "And you looked too confident." He shook his head. "No, I just really wanted to do it the right way." A pause. "And now?" I asked. "Now I'm glad I waited." He gently took my hand. And in that moment, I understood something simple and very important. Sometimes love doesn't arrive loudly. Not suddenly. Not like a storm. Sometimes it comes like morning light in a gym. Quietly. Slowly. And it stays. Because next to you is someone who makes you feel strength, calm, and warmth. And with Travis, that's exactly what I felt. I didn't find out right away that Travis came from a wealthy family. To me, he was just Travis. The man who remembered I liked my latte without syrup. Who always held the door for me. And who asked after workouts, "Did you stand a lot today?" Teachers get more tired than athletes. I'm a middle school teacher. A regular school. Regular kids. Papers to grade. Parent meetings. Noisy hallways. Chalk dust on my fingers. My parents are ordinary people. My dad worked his whole life as an electrician. My mom is a nurse. Our home was always warm, but we never had extra money. And deep down, I worried that one day it would turn out our worlds were too different. I found out the truth by accident. We were driving past a large auto service center, and I noticed the name. "Oh, I've heard this is a good chain," I said. Travis smiled a little awkwardly. "That's ours." "What do you mean, yours?" "My family owns the network. My dad started with one garage. Now there are over 30. I was quiet for a few seconds. "And you didn't tell me?" "Because it's not what matters to me. I didn't want you to see me differently because of it." That's when I understood why he never showed off. Why he lived simply. Why he drove a regular car and worked as a trainer. That evening, he took my hand and said softly, "The only thing that matters to me is you being you." And I felt at peace. A few weeks later, he met my parents. I was more nervous than before my first teaching day. Mom had been cooking since morning. Dad checked every light bulb in the apartment like a president was coming. Travis arrived with flowers for my mom and a toolbox. "Mr. Ivan, Vicky said your kitchen faucet leaks. May I take a look?" An hour later, they were standing together in the kitchen, talking about pipes and tools. Later, Mom whispered, "He's a good man. You can tell he's not proud." That evening, when he walked me home, I said, "They really liked you." He smiled. "That's because they raised you." Then came the day I met his family. A large house, a beautiful garden, an expensive car in the driveway. I held his hand tighter than usual. "You're with me," he whispered. His mother hugged me warmly, like we had known each other for years. During dinner, his father listened carefully as I talked about my students. "Teachers change lives," he said seriously. "That matters more than any business." And in that moment, the tension inside me melted away. Travis never made big dramatic gestures. His love lived in the small things. He picked me up from school when it rained. He made me tea while I graded papers. Sometimes he left little notes in my bag. "You're changing the world. I'm proud of you." One evening I told him, "Our families are so different." He wrapped his arms around me from behind, resting his chin on my shoulder. "No," he said quietly. "They're the same. They just love their children. And now, each other." And that's when I understood. It's not about money, not about status, not about where you come from. It's about who makes you feel at home. And with Travis, that's exactly how I felt. Our relationship was calm, warm, steady. We were used to morning workouts together, quiet evenings with tea while I graded papers, and short messages during the day. "Eat lunch. How were your 7th graders? Miss you." I thought it would always be like that. But one evening, something changed. I didn't find out from Travis. At school, a colleague showed me a local news article. Auto Service Network opens a major new center. The project will be led by the owner's son, Travis Miller. I read it twice. New city, full-time management, relocation. He hadn't told me. That evening, when we met, I tried to stay calm. "Is there something you want to tell me?" He looked surprised. "About what?" I showed him the article. He exhaled. "I was going to tell you. I just wanted everything to be final first." "And when were you planning to tell me?" "After you moved?" "Vicky, I haven't agreed yet. But you're considering it, and you didn't even think to talk to me." His voice hardened slightly. "This is a big responsibility. My family is counting on me." "And me?" Silence. My throat tightened. "You know what hurts?" I said quietly. "Not that you might leave. That you were making this decision without me." He didn't answer. "For the first time since we'd been together," I said, "I need to go home." That night, I couldn't sleep. I thought about his world, big business, new cities, big opportunities. And mine, classrooms, noisy hallways, children, my small apartment. Maybe sooner or later, our lives would pull us apart anyway. The next day, he didn't text. And I didn't either. For the first time, the gym felt empty even when it was full. That evening, when I came home, he was standing near my building. No car, just his jacket. "Cold. How long have you been here?" I asked softly. "About an hour." We went upstairs in silence. In my kitchen, he took a long time before speaking. Finally, he said, "I was scared." "Of what?" "That you'd think I was choosing my career over us. So I kept putting off the conversation." He paused. "But when you left yesterday, I realized I could lose something much more important." I looked at him. He meant it. "I turned the project down," he said quietly. "What?" "I told my father my life is here. And that there's someone I don't want to leave behind." My breath caught. "Travis, you didn't have to refuse because of me." He stepped closer. "I didn't refuse because of you. I chose us." My eyes filled with tears. "I just wanted you to share things with me," I whispered. "I'm not against your opportunities. I'm only afraid of one thing. That one day you'll make big decisions without me." He wrapped his arms around me. Strong, calm, The kind of hug that says this is long-term. Vicky, he said softly, I don't make decisions without us anymore. We stood there for a long time. Then he wiped my tears and smiled. By the way, my dad said that anyone who puts love above business is definitely ready to run a company. Just not today. I laughed through my tears. That evening we cooked dinner together. He chopped vegetables. I stirred the sauce. Soft music played in the background. And for the first time, I felt something deeper than love. Certainty. Because real closeness isn't when you never argue. It's when after the argument, you become even closer. And that's when I realized. We weren't just a couple anymore. We were a team. Forever. Sometimes I think about how much life can change in just 1 year. A year ago, we were standing in my small kitchen after our first real argument, learning how to talk to each other honestly. Today, I'm standing by the large window in our house on the edge of the city. Our house. We did move. A few months after that conversation, Travis was offered the opportunity again to open a new service center in a quiet, smaller city. But this time, the decision was ours. We took long evening walks, talking through every detail. My work, his responsibilities, our future. We're only going if this is our step, he told me. And it truly was. The house didn't come right away. At first, there was a rented apartment, moving boxes, the smell of fresh paint, and long shopping lists. And then, a small house on the outskirts. Bright walls, a wooden porch, a little yard that, for now, held only grass and our plans. Travis opened the new service center 3 months after we moved. On opening day, he stood by the entrance looking slightly nervous, just like the day he first came up to me at the gym. I couldn't have done this without you, he said quietly. I straightened his shirt and smiled. We're a team, remember? Our wedding was small, no luxury, no big crowd, just our parents, a few close friends, and a warm summer day. I wore a simple light dress. Travis wore a classic suit, but he was still a little nervous. When he saw me, his eyes softened immediately. You're the best decision of my life, he whispered before the ceremony. And in that moment, I understood. This was real happiness. Quiet, deep, true, but the most important news came recently. That morning, I woke up early. The house was quiet. Sunlight was just beginning to fill the kitchen. The test was on the table. 2 lines. I sat there for a few minutes, holding it in my hands. My heart was racing, but inside, I felt calm and warm. When Travis came downstairs, he noticed right away that I was quiet. Vicky, what's wrong? I walked over and placed the test in his hand. First he looked at it, then at me. Is this? I nodded. For a few seconds, he didn't say anything. And then his whole face changed. He lifted me into his arms and laughed, so openly and happily that I started laughing through my tears. I'm going to be a dad. Vicky, I'm going to be a dad. He held me for a long time, gently, like I was already the most precious thing in the world. This is the best news of my life, he whispered. And in that moment, I knew. Our home would become warmer. Our love would grow deeper. Our life would become even more real. Sometimes I think back to that morning at the gym. How everything began with one glance. With one simple sentence. I've got you. And now, standing in our kitchen, in our home, next to the man who still looks at me with the same warmth. I know, the best love stories begin quietly. But they last a lifetime.